That's good. That's good. This is good. I've got these things. Bot should be here now. Posted things. Deck functioning. Cool. All right. All right, we're hopping into the deck tech. We're going to do a little explanation of what's going on here today. So welcome back, everybody, to the Mana Symbol channel. We're hanging out in the secret lab today. I don't know if we're going to do any rebranding here, but we'll see. And we've got an exciting stream planned. It's going to be first ever 12-hour stream in celebration of the banning of Arkham's Astrolabe. For anyone who's not aware, I loved the card. I loved everything it did for Modern and many of the different types of decks that played it. That said, we're going to move on and see if we can't innovate and iterate and move on to a newer, brighter future. And over the course of the day, we're just going to be having a lot of fun here, as much fun as possible on the Mana Symbol channel. I've got 6 brews, 7 or 8 decks prepared. So we'll see how far and long we go. We could also work some Subnautica into the middle of the stream, possibly as a break. We'll see. Not entirely sure how all that's going to go down, but we're going to get there when we get there. That said, the first deck of the day is Jeskai Urza Karn. So this is a Jeskai Thopter Sword deck featuring the Sword of the Meek Thopter Foundry combo along with Urza Lord High Artificer. So this is an infinite combo. You can win the game on the spot here, creating infinite Thopters, gaining infinite life, and having access to infinite blue mana. We also have Karn, the Great Creator, in here to access a wish board. We've got Teferi Time Raveler to protect our combo and bounce some troublesome permanents. Sideboard, I have no idea what's going to be good in the current format, so I've just got a little bit of, I don't know, stuff that might help us get to where we want to be. A little bit of main deck graveyard hate, engineer explosives to target our opponent's things. In several of our decks, we're using talismans sort of in the place of Arkham's Astrolabe. It does function on the mana axis in terms of putting us up on mana. Even if Urza's not in play, you can turn 2 talisman into a turn 3 Urza, which is great. So yeah, not too much more to say about that. On, I believe, all of my interfaces, we do have a counter for my hydration count. It's important to stay hydrated. For example, this morning, I'm starting off with this big, beautiful mango smoothie. It's got some electrolytes and additives from my good friends Dr. McGillicuddy, as well as Captain Morgan, great maker of supplements. I had a workout this morning. I have myself a nice egg bacon omelet with some mushrooms in there. And you know, it's important to get all your electrolytes, which I believe is what is in here. And there's enough servings of electrolytes in here to kickstart my hydration count from 0 to 4. So we're going to get you rolling big time. If anyone's curious about the suit, I figured it's a good idea to put yourself as far away as possible from the eventual point of meltdown, you know? Walter White was such an impressive character on Breaking Bad when he became a badass drug boss kind of character, but especially because you saw the sort of meek, downtrodden person he was in the beginning. All right, here we go. First match against Al Nash. Got a turn 1 Emry if we want. But we're on the draw. That said, we've got 3 lands and it's a Teferi, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to keep it. Could also play turn 1 Bauble, crack fetch land, get a tap land, and then play Emry on turn 2. Keep the engineered explosives on the back burner, especially if we need to fight against some of my opponent's cards here. Let's see what they're up to. Probably Grixis Death Shadow. I wouldn't be surprised to see my Emry or either of my artifacts eat it here. Yep. Okie dokie. So we're on the same plan that I was thinking we would be on before. Flooding out a little bit. I can Bauble trick myself and grab the Raugrin Triome, so we're probably going to do that. Goblin Engineer on top. I do want to draw that, so we're not going to fetch the Raugrin Triome until the end of my opponent's next turn. Yield until next end step. All right, Let's do it up. Yikes. Oh, double discard. Yep. Turn 2, 3/3 Death Shadow. Sounds like fun. Let's grab our Triome. This way we don't have any tap lands left in our deck. We get to play Goblin Engineer this turn. Could grab Thopter Sword, or let's see what else we got. I don't know if I have an Ensnaring Bridge in the main deck. I don't. That's maybe a mistake. So probably just going to go Snow-Covered Island Engineer. Next turn, hopefully we can play Teferi, bounce the Death Shadow, or otherwise. We're just going to put the Sword of the Meek in the graveyard here, since it is a card that functions from the graveyard. Use the Engineer. Yes, please. Sword. Play my Bauble. He has the turn. What are you drawing over there, opponent? Street Wraith? That's not a card you're going to keep in your hand at all. This guy's going to be a 5/5. That sounds scary. Okay. I don't have any more input on their turn here, so we'll just let him have it. Yikes! So if they've got a Stubborn Denial, Drown in the Loch, anything of that nature, it looks like we're going to be up a creek real quick. Well, now that is almost something. So as long as I'm playing a non-creature, it basically doesn't matter what I do here. Sacred Foundry into Thopter Foundry. I can't even make a blocker yet if I do that. We're going to take 7 next turn, and then our life total won't really matter after that. So out of the 2 of these that could resolve, either way, I'm going to have to shock to have value. So let's just go ahead and try to play out the Teferi. Failure. Oh, yeah.
Stay a while and listen.
That's not what I wanted.
Humiliation.
There we go. Or I suppose even more appropriate might be. Oh, sweet! Okay, we lose the other relevant card in our hand. And they have a 9/9 Death Shadow. Maybe we'll just die now. And, hilariously, I think I have no sideboard for this matchup. I guess I could board in a Chalice of the Void, but that seems less than great. Let's rip a sick top deck. Nope, that's not it. Alright, just dead. Oh, Death Shadow. Oh, Death Shadow. Death Shadow on the play is a tough one. Just like Jund, all that black mid-range sort of discard junk. It's just really good at sort of taking apart most of these kind of strategies. In theory, I could board in the last Galvanic Blast. Last Teferi might be better than a third Galvanic Blast in the main. Most of this is not particularly useful. I don't have a bridge or Witchbane Orb in the main deck. It's really hard to know what to do with our side. This deck is hot. So far, this deck is hot garbage, but I appreciate your enthusiasm. One of the real questions I have is what you modified. What should we add to my soundboard here? Because I got my boat horn. I got my crank. Jeez, this hand is like pretty medium minus. I also don't think I should have Mystic Sanctuary in this deck. I put it in here for shofar sound. What is a shofar? A chauffeur? Like Chauffer? Chauffeur. Since we're going to get slammed with a bunch of discard anyway, shofar. What is a shofar? Since we're getting slammed with a bunch of discard anyway, I'm going to keep this hand because I get to play Talisman on 2. Hopefully we top deck something relevant. It's a horn made from a ram's horn. So like an alpenhorn. Kinda. Carrier has arrived. You must construct additional pilot. Whoa, 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 whoa! I can't take all the bits from It's Julian. But thank you, HC Fox, for the input there. Peon from Warcraft. I have the peon from Warcraft 3. It's this one.
Work.
I also have the peasant.
All right.
And I have another version of the peasant because
That's it. I'm dead.
that's important. Important to know when you're dead. Dabu Zug Zug. Dabu Zug Zug. Yeah, those are basically where we're at. Got it. Okay, cool. Alright, so how fast is their threat coming? Oh, they have Kolaghan's command now? Yikes. Oh boy. Hopefully they somehow miss hitting 3 lands. For once. Thought Scour. Sure. Is it going to be Gurmag Angler? Yeah. That would be likely the only thing that's going to take them so long to cast. So it looks like we're just super dead here. How about the sound of existential dread? What does that sound like, pray tell? Urza. Karn also acceptable-ish? Ooh. Oh, you hate to see it. So we have no relevant spells. Hooray. Well, I better leave the best type of mana open here. Alright. So I have not drawn any of our 8 legendaries. Technically 12, but Urza is like not super great with Mox Amber. Maybe they waste a discard spell? Oh, God. And unfortunately, we drew the wrong half. Counting Planeswalkers a Lich. For Mox Amber, it does. So Mox Amber is active from creatures or legends, or Planeswalkers. Yeah. And I flipped Teferi, and Karn. Great. I think we're probably just screwed here. Because I know they have Kolaghan's command in their hand right now, so they're just going to shock my Emry and kill my... Yeah, Karn doesn't count, right? Because Karn is colorless. Or generic. So Mox Amber doesn't tap with Karn. If I top deck Thopter Foundry, I guess maybe we're still okay. But I'm assuming they have Stubborn Denial or similar. So probably not going to matter, but we'll see. Again, this is one match in a brand new meta, playing a shaky, questionable deck here. We've got plenty more spicy, fun things to be playing over the course of the day, so hopefully we find some success at some point. And if we don't, I will just retire from brewing and until I feel like the spark has come back to me. So are we just, yeah, we're just dead on board. Cool. So easy loss to Death Shadow there. They are well equipped to deal with most of what we're doing. So we never drew an Urza. So onwards to match the second. How about some Gigantha Jeskai Ascendancy? Why are we, what are we, why, what? What? Like, I see that's something you could do. Why would we do that? Okay, so we got turn 2 Emry with a redundant Emry, plus a turn 3 Teferi Time Raveler. So we are going to go land Mox Amber on turn 1, specifically not because I haven't figured out a list for Wilderness Wreck. Lots of people are playing Wilderness Wreck. I don't. Do you need to do better than what other people have been doing for Wilderness Wreck? I don't understand. Oh god. It's not more Death Shadow, is it? No. I mean, I specifically set my hand up for the... Okay. Crabvine. This could be interesting. Let us see. Yikes. Okay. Zug zug. No, yes, Wilderness Wreck and lots of people are playing Wilderness Wreck in Modern. It got really popular over the last 2 or 3 weeks. Teamer and Sultai. Just play 5 CMC Teferi and untap as Kanta, call it good enough, and terminus people out of the game. Yeah, you can do that. Ooh, Creepy Chill. Okay. Plus a Glimpse. But no Stitch or Prized Amalgams and no what in the hell? No Prized Amalgams and no Vengevines yet. Oh, they're gonna play the Gravecrawler. Yeah, that's fine. We're gonna Teferi and bounce it. Probably. Holy crap! Oh wait, we're gonna Teferi and bounce that. That's even better. All right, we're good. Jeez. You know, there are enough artifacts in this deck. I guarantee it. Can I draw? Jeez. 21 lands just flooding out like this already. That's a yikes from me, dog. Once I finish this, Brian, that'll be 4. So I just put the counter to 4, as in like it will be 4, because I don't want to mess with it constantly. This is a electrolyte filled, wonderful. Yeah. All right. Well, we're just gonna lose our Teferi here. He drew us a card and bounced our Mega Angler. It's a mango daiquiri, but it's close enough. I like ice blended beverages. Can you teach me to tie a tie? I absolutely can, but to be perfectly honest with you, at the age of 27 is when I learned to tie a tie for myself. And the way I did it is I went to ties.com. Not joking. I'm not joking. Nope. I went to ties.com, learned how to tie a tie. That is how I did it. I believe that's what it was. Yep. I think they had a how to tie a tie section. or articles based on it. It might have been like howtotie.com. Yeah. It's really not that hard. Okay, so what are we doing here? I kind of want to play Engineered Explosives for 1. I probably should play it for more than 1. The problem is I can't play it for 3, and I can't play it for 4. Or sorry, I could play it for 3, but 3 will kill my Emry. I don't really want to do that. That's not the point of doing this. I think I'm going to play it for... I think I'm playing it for 1, honestly. I mean, I guess I could just play it for 0. So I probably don't want to kill 2 Stitcher Suppliers. We're going to play the second Emry for 1 mana now. Probably should have used the Mox Amber, but it's fine. We're going to keep this Emry. That one dies. We mill 4. Oh, great. The first artifact I milled was Talisman of Creativity. Nobody said this was going to be easy. Really, not that hard. Love it. Love it. Make a t-shirt, buddy. But yeah, after my first whole 6-month cruise contract, I had 1 tie. Person tied it for me, and I just loosened it and retightened it for that entire contract. And then on my second contract, I went, this is nonsense, and I learned how to tie a frickin' tie. Because I am an adult, I guess? Uh-oh. Okay, so they can't Vengevine me this turn. And it looks like... Oh, they've got a Prize Amalgam now. Alright. Another Prize Amalgam now. I think we're just going to be dead here because we don't have a main deck Ensnaring Bridge. I'm not going to be able to get to my sideboard one. So that's definitely a mistake in the construction of this deck. So if we try to remember anything at the end of this league, it's that this deck needs a main deck Ensnaring Bridge. Also needs slightly better luck than this because this is pathetic. Like, this is really sad. I am 19 cards through my deck. I haven't hit a Bauble. Maybe the deck needs Chromatic Star or Chromatic Sphere. We have those in other builds we're going to be playing today, so... I probably should use the Talisman. Oh, well, that's like almost relevant, right? Still literally can't get any artifact back, but I think we can just live through this turn for now. But in theory, they're going to be able to Vengevine me. Oh, maybe not. Oh, no. That's just, they're going to play 1 spell, and then they're going to play another creature spell somehow. Is there Gravecrawl in their graveyard? Yeah, there's a Gravecrawl in their graveyard and 3 Vengevines. We're just toast. Okay, got it. Got it. Opponents are playing powerful linear decks, and we're just getting killed before we have the chance to do much of anything. Which is fine. Yeah, and once again, my sideboard is a bit of failure because people are just vomiting out a sort of infinite number of creatures here, and most of their creatures we don't even want to interact with. I think there's 3 Karns and 2 Goblin Engineers in my deck. The problem is I've seen Goblin Engineers in my hand. I've never seen a Karn in my hand. So, like, I want to bring in this Ensnaring Bridge to be able to fetch for it, but it feels like I can't do that. Also, I don't know if playing 4 Mox Ambers with 21 lands is correct. I think maybe this Mystic Sanctuary should go out and be another artifact or something else in the middle package here. I think this is probably fine. Again, this is a second match with this deck, so might just be getting bonked by the negative side of variance still. Ooh, a cherry. Would I like to play first? Yes, please. Holy medium. Okay. We're on the play. We're going to keep this. We have Thopter Foundry into Emry. And enough mana into Urza, so if their hand is brutally fast, we're going to be in trouble. But is this still League One? It is. We're on match 2 of League One. And if you're ever interested, Brian, you can hit !record And I'll tell you basically exactly where I am. My schedule for today is something like this. So your deck is 4th, the Brian M special. So yikes. Okay. Hey, look, it's the Thopter Foundry. Go. All right. Their deck occasionally plays Force of Negation out of the sideboard. It doesn't look like they're doing that this game. Probably just they're about to play a Glimpse here. Glimpse the Unthinkable. Yeah, absolutely. I will do my best to poke at you. This is an early stream. Well, we're going for 12 hours, Schwen. We do a 12-hour stream here, so... I will ping you on Discord, most likely, Brian. Just so you know. Okay, so we can play Talisman and then Emry here, which is kind of neat. I think this deck might want more Sword of the Meeks, even though we are playing Goblin Engineer. Yikes. Oh! Hey, we flipped the Sword of the Meek. Oh, cool. I'm gonna... We've already streamed for 12 hours. We have 12 hours to go. We have 11 hours and 30 minutes to go. We also have at least, let's call it 9 more hydration servings to go. No, that's fine. I got this one. Good job, opponent, but I got this one. You did get your Vengevine, but it's not gonna be a deal here. That's a deal breaker. Oh, they're attacking me. Murder most foul. All right, well, we're gonna go ahead and boot up the Thopter Foundry, and what? But you didn't even see. But what a jerk! God, I can't believe this one. Okay. Stream Sniper. I really doubt it. It's technically possible. For me, thinking about Stream Snipers is like thinking about people who would want to invade and steal my personal information. I just don't think I matter enough. All right, so we're going to do something wild here. We're going to bring in Tormund's Crypt and the second Sword of the Meek, which kind of limits what Karn can do. But Karn can still get a bridge, and the bridge should be able to keep me alive. So let's see if this works better. I've had people throw down to the Foundry too, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, I've had that too, but it's just surprising because, like, I didn't have that much mana. I guess I had 3 or 4 mana per turn, but, like, they could overpower that in theory. Like, their deck can put out, like, 16 power, like, the next turn. Like, if they glimpse themselves and flip, like, a couple Vengevines. Alright, I mean, this is bad, but it's also kind of good, so keep it. Oh, fast lands. Those are something this deck is not. Jesus. I'm playing 21 lands over here. Good lord. My deck loves me. Maybe we'll top deck a Tormund's Crypt. Or Soul Guide Lantern. Maybe my opponent will whiff a bunch. Narcomoeba with no Prized Amalgam in there is great. And then the Prized Amalgam hits. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. No, good. Okay, no Gravecrawler. Okay. This is the kind of hand we can beat. Maybe. Okay. There's the Karn that can no longer get me a Tormod script or a Sword of the Meek. So let's hope that Emry flips either of those next turn. Oh, that's all right, Roy. Take your time. I'm going to be here for many, many hours to come. Oh no, they've got another Mill 6. Okay, we're probably screwed here with the Prized Amalgam already in there. No shock. That's strange. Narcomoeba and 1 Prize Amalgam? There's no Grave Crawlers in there or anything? Yikes. Nope, no blockers. I'll take it. Bonk. Oh, it's Gravecrawler in hand. Yeah, that's a lot of power and toughness. Let's draw something relevant. That's frustrating. Yeah. All right, so I think we're just going to play Emry, and then we take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 next turn. They have no Vengevines yet, but there's a good chance we're going to get slammed next turn. The other option is play Goblin Engineer, but I still have the Ensnaring Bridge in my sideboard. I don't have one in my deck, so... And even if I had one in my deck, my hand is just too chonky. How's the format feel now that Labe is gone? Awful. Everything is awful. But perhaps there is some joy to be found today. To answer your question more honestly, Schwen, I don't know. We're too close to the... Like, we just flipped over, and I didn't play that much yesterday because I was pretty disheartened. I liked Astrolabe a lot, so it hurt to see it gone. Hardcast Vengevine, yeah, that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm gonna block this Distributed Supplier this turn. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So if I block the Distributed Supplier this turn, see what they flip, and then I can block the Gravecrawler next turn, which means 9, 10, 11. Take 11 this turn, go to 6. Next turn, block the Gravecrawler, still die. So not relevant. So basically all I'm doing is making it likely that I go lower this turn, but that's fine. So if they flip a Creeping Chill, okay. Second Foundry. So the problem is I can Goblin Engineer for Sword of the Meek. Oh no, and then I can pop out my Mox Amber and make 3 Thopters. So actually we might be okay here. Interesting. Well, let's see. Oh, I could have painlessly had an untapped land with Mystic Sanctuary. That's all right. So we go red and 1, Goblin Engineer. Okay. Yes. Sword. Okay. Emry plays Mox Amber. Cast. All right, and now I can make 3 Thopters. I'm going to make 1 now, because just in case they have some kind of graveyard removal that requires mana. In fact, I'm probably going to make all of them right now. Always yield. So maybe we have a match win here. Let's find out. So I've got 3 blockers for next turn, which is certainly enough to survive. I think it's a little sad too, although I really didn't spend much time playing Modern with Labe. Yeah, but you... So here's the thing, Schwent, but you've been playing Stryfopile and Legacy, and what Labe did that I care about is that Labe made it possible to play decks that are like Stryfopile in Modern. So let's see how many Creeping Chills they flip here. 1 Narcomoeba, 0 chills. They've got 1 more, and they have 1 more card in hand, so we might be okay here. Let's see how many chills they flip. Nothing? Just another Narcomoeba? Oh, that's great. Okay. Shit. We might be okay. Oh, no. No, no, no. No. Okay, that's fine. That doesn't happen. The point is... Yeah, that's fine. The Uro Sanctuary thing was a little stupid for Modern. What is that based on, though? Like, because I've played those decks, and you know what you die to? Mono Red Prowess, just like everybody else. You die on turn 3 to Mono Red Prowess. So, it's really not... I don't know. Obviously, I don't have the same data as Wizards of the Coast, so I can't make same kind of judgments. So, we're taking 2 here. I could take 5 instead and just knock down one of their Narcomoebas. I also get to keep a Thopter for next turn that way. This puts me to 3, though, which is like a little low to the Creeping Chill. But they're going to have even more attackers next turn, so... I think I'm going to go about it this way. I'm making 6 Thopters next turn, so I think we'll be okay. But we'll see. They have 0 cards in hand, which is great. Another Mox Amber is good. So, let's go Sanctuary for nothing. Play Mox Amber. Tap. Sacrifice Sword. Yep. Tap. Sack Sword. So I could have Emry play out a Mox Amber. And I probably should for this turn. And then next turn try to make some headway. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, I get it, but yeah, I mean, there's only so much we can do. So I can't make decisions anymore. It's over. I'm just going to live in the modern world that I've been put in. Venture deeper, sure. So I have 8 blockers, and I'm at 10. So... they scooped. That's a match win. Okay. The thing that really bothers me about Astrolabe being gone is it hit 2 distinct types of decks that I liked, which is blue soup, multicolor control decks, and Urza artifact decks, which are also blue decks, which can or cannot play Cryptic Command. It just made both the major archetypes that I love the most considerably worse. So that's frustrating. All right, that said, here we go on the play. Hand is not insane, but it's fine. Probably going turn 1, Raugrin Triome, Mishra's Bauble, pass the turn. I don't think I'm cracking the Bauble, but we'll see. Yeah, but the thing about Urza is like they basically, there was the tipping point when the Oko Urza deck existed where they could have banned Mox Opal or Urza. And for whatever reason, because some people say, oh, it's because it was a new mythic in Modern Horizons. Some people say otherwise, whatever it was. They decided to keep Urza and ban Mox Opal. And once you decide to keep Urza in a situation like that, it feels like with Mox Opal, there were multiple times where they could have banned Mox Opal, and they made the obvious choice to ban other things instead of banning Mox Opal. And it felt like it was the same thing, and it took them years and years and years to get to banning Mox Opal. And it may be the same thing with Urza now. They already made one ban that like very much was concession to the fact that they were saying, okay, this card is crazy powerful. We're going to ban things around it because we think it's interesting. Arbor Elf? Damn it. It's never the fucking Arbor Elf. Engineer's good, though. So we'll go Island Engineer, grab a Sword of the Meek. Bing, bing, ding, beep, bing, bing, ding, bing, bing, beep, 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 beep. Doop, 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 beep, 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 beep. All right, what do you got? Please Blood Moon me. Wait, no, don't. Next turn. Maybe the turn after that. Opponent has good taste in forests for a girl mid-range player. Feels like the girl mid-range players are always on modern frames or full art. Huh! They Blood Mooned me. Alright, well, we have a number of basic islands in the deck. Also this. Sure. I do have snow-covered plains in my deck too. Let's go Mystic Sanctuary, Emry. Emry's not going to be able to survive, but hey. Attack for 1. Boop. If we get to the second blue, we're going to be in good shape. Seasoned Pyromancer. That is very much a Gruul mid-range card. They only have green mana open, so it looks like my Emry's going to survive the turn, which is great. Yeah, they had to play a second red source to play the Seasoned Pyromancer. Yep. Okay. Emry probably won't survive the next turn. That's... Oh! Oh! Oh, yeah. Alrighty, then. Oh, top deck the blue. Hell yeah. I guess I had lands, plus I could have top decked a Mox Opal there. Mox Amber. Sorry, we were talking about Mox Opal. What is up, Penseur? French National Day. Is it Bastille Day? I am aware those are two different things. So if they Glory Banger now, they're going to go after my Urza? Hold on. It's different or it's the same? And if it's the same, did they rename it because Bastille Day was like violent or something like that? I wouldn't mind if they did. I'm just curious. Stomp my Emry. Yep, I knew she was dead. That said... Actually, Goblin Engineer already did his work here, so that's fine. So they weren't able to remove my Urza, which means I can start spinning, which is kind of nice. Oh, and I have a backup Emry anyway. Okay, so let's go... tap... Oh, I played a land. If I flip my 1 snow-covered basic, I'm going to be a little upset. Thopter Foundry. Oh, so we just win. Cool. Got it. Hey, look, I won. Combo. Hold on. Where's the thing? Only English speakers call it Bastille Day. Fête Nationale, which means National Day. That's awesome. Where's the thing?
Double kill.
Yeah, buddy. So this thing, sack this thing, yield to this thing. Am I allowed to, or is my opponent conceding? Yes. Okay. So Urza, go tap this thing, activate, sack. Urza, go tap this thing, activate this thing, sack. Yay! Magic! Pop restored, still functional. Love it. I was going to attack with an infinite power creature. Looking sharp in the suit, by the way. Thank you so much. Well, I used to be paid good money to wear this suit. It was bought for me by the company that I worked for. Okay, so this is a matchup where I want the Galvanic Blast and the Aether Gust. Teferi is medium minus. Let's board out 1 Mox Amber because we're doing that. And what was I doing? I used to work as a professional musician on cruise ships. On cruise ships. I hate boarding out this many artifacts, but I think it's probably okay. And as before, let's board back in a Sword of the Meek and maybe board out a Karn. Yeah, hold on a second. So, if you want to see what I used to do, there it is. Did it crash? No, okay. There you go. So this is me in a pit. So this is the whole band was sort of on a little stage in front of the main stage, and then that stage would go down into a depression, and that's where we are now. Ba-da-ba. Ba-ba-ba-doo-ba-da. Yeah, so that's me playing a tune called Jumpin' East of Java, but I'm jumping away from this hand because this hand is Garbo. This is much better. We're going to keep this one, probably bottom the Karn. Yeah, we're going to snap that off. What is the Discord link? I visited the kitchens and stuff, but I wonder how are the living conditions as a musician on board. So living conditions for the musicians on board were similar to the rest of the crew. And so I lived in a room that was smaller than this one, which is obviously not particularly large, but like if you take the average child's bedroom and you maybe knock 30% off of that, it's basically a hotel room if I remember correctly. No, those are the guest rooms, Shwen. The guest rooms are like that. The crew rooms are half. How bad is the Wi-Fi on board? Well, you have to pay for it, so it's not free. And because you're an employee, you're on the employee network, and the employee network is throttled by the guest network. Did you have to share your room? So yeah, I was getting that. You have a bunk bed, and you and your roommate share the room, unless you are a manager or higher in terms of, I don't know, position. So yes, I had to share my room. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and grab just a snow-covered island here. I could get my Raugrin Triome, which would give me access to the white mana I'm going to need in future. However, I'm just going to shock this turn and play Talisman of Creativity. I could play Engineered Explosives on 1 to deal with Arbor Elf and any future any future Utopia sprawls, which I'm going to go ahead and do because I might be playing Urza as early as next turn. And if I'm playing Urza, I definitely want to have that. Were you able to play MTGO then? No. Were you the drum set manager, though? No. Thought Zach was the captain. I did tell the captain to please bring me my wine multiple times, but he never did. And I say he only because every captain I had was a he. And almost all of them were Italian, but one was Croatian. If you want to get me started talking about cruise ship work, I have almost endless stories. Which cruise line was it? Carnival Cruise Line, which is the McDonald's of cruise lines. It only goes to the Gulf of Mexico, and the cruises are very cheap. It's a split between being like a party cruise line and like budget Disney, because they have like a kids sort of a kids influenced, like middle income family influenced deal on top of being the sort of party cruise line. Wait, I thought the stream couldn't get better. We get all the stories. Oh, yeah. Oh, man, do I have stories. Some of which will have to wait until I'm less lucid and more willing to tell stories that I think are not appropriate. You gonna stomp me? Oh, scoos. Okay. Huh. Well, that's a kick in the teeth. All right. So if I play... I can't play Thopter Foundry. I don't have the ability to play the Thopter Foundry. So I think we play Sword of the Meek and take it on the chin next turn. And maybe we get a turn after that where we combo off and kill them. But I need white mana. I don't have any way to filter for white mana. And because earlier this game I was playing Scared around a Blood Moon, and I don't have Astrolabe anymore, I don't have access to white mana. So we have to peel one of my remaining 7 fetch lands next turn if we want a combo kill. But anyway, yeah, Carnival's a sort of this budget cruise line that appeals both to sort of middle-income American families as well as people who are young and don't have a lot of money and they just want to go drink and party. So, like, a lot of the ships that I worked on did a lot of 3 and 4 day cruises. 3 and 4 day cruises are sort of like the entry-level cruise where it's inexpensive, and so basically the point of it is to go out to sea, sail around in a circle, gamble, and drink alcohol. Okay, so even if I want to combo next turn, I have to play around the fact that they have 3 green mana. And I have 1, 2, 3 artifacts I can sacrifice, so I can do it for now. Was your vessel pulled by whales that were chained up? Only when we were coming out of dry dock. They tried to keep the animal rights infractions to a minimum at the rest of the time. I'm kidding, of course. My opponent missed out on 4 damage there, which is strange. Galvanic Blast is great because I have 1, 2, 3 artifacts, so this will kill a Scavenging Ooze. And we can also Aether Gust the Bone Crusher Giant. Doing those things will require... Alright, so... It's Galvanic Blast the Scoos. Yeah, then we're going to take 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 next turn. Okay. Galvanic Blast the Scoos, shoot it for 4. Doggos aren't allowed on board. No, they are not. We always went on celebrity cruises. They were all right. Well, that is a less cheap cruise line. I did a cruise on Royal to Mexico. It was just a big party. I liked it a lot less than the Scandinavian cruises I did years ago. No offense to anyone, but God was it depraved. People ate and drank more than I thought was humanly possible. That is the market to which most of the cheap Gulf of Mexico American cruise companies are shooting for. That is who they want on their cruise line, because those people will drink. Okay, so we just need to peel a white mana next turn, and we're good. Which makes me think that these talismans should be the blue-white talismans, but it's tricky because we're a 3-color deck. Hopefully we don't pick up a Scalding Tarn, because I'll have to fetch Shock for it, and I just don't know that I'll have the bandwidth in terms of life total. For some reason, my opponent is just taking an infinite amount of time here. Poderissimo? No, that was the previous round. Alpha Frog. Okay, they're not double queuing or anything, so I don't know what they're up to, but I'll take it. I'm gonna eat my Galvanic Blast. Well, that's rude. So I'm taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 right now. If I Aether Gust the Bone Crusher, we're gonna take 2, and then we're gonna take 4, so we're gonna go to 1. So maybe? If I had played less scared around Blood Moon, I would be able to combo off. So that is important to know. It's also important to point out that it is possible that the Talismans of Creativity should be Talismans of blue-white again. I don't know if the stairs, the lack of alcohol, was the biggest downer for people. Wait, there was... Oh, yeah. Found a spot at the front of the ship that needed to take the stairs. It had no bar. It was fully empty with gorgeous views. No, that's... if you are the kind of cruise goer that I believe you are, Penseur, I think that is exactly what you want to look for. You want to look for a place that, it requires stairs and doesn't serve alcohol. So if they go to target Utopia Sprawl with Armor Elf, we're going to pop the Engineered Explosives in response to cut the amount of mana they're going to end up with by 1. Also, their pips by 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I pop my Engineered Explosives right now, it's actually going to knock back their Clothis. And we're going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and die. Oh, well then. Yeah. So I should have stuck with my original plan of Aether Gusting the Bone Crusher Giant, but that's fine. We just drank all the icy boozy stuff. That is the stuff you want to do. Tip the bartenders at the bar near your room. Yep. Always tip your bartenders. You have no idea what they can do for you. I don't even know what they can do for you. But it's a lot. So I don't think it's likely. But my opponent is taking so long on some of these turns that, might time them out in game 3. They randomly brought us booze. Yeah, that's a thing they can do for you. Talking with the crew was super nice. Yeah, it usually is. I mean, you can learn a lot, and they tend to be from all over the world. So 4, 5, 6, 8. Yeah, we're just dead. All right. Were we going to make it if I had played that turn more correctly? That's what I want to know. No. Okay, cool. I think sideboarding is fine. We just need to be a little more careful about our colors here. Karn has seemed unnecessary in this deck, which is sad. I think Karn probably should be reserved for 80-card Urza decks. At least one of which we're going to be playing later today. Although I don't know if we're going to be playing an 80-card Urza deck with Karn that is my construction. I think all of the Urza decks that I built today are 60. Only Brian M's is at 80. My opponent is taking their full amount of time to sideboard here. All right. It's got Thopter Sword. So we go Raugrin Triome, play Thopter Foundry, then Sword. Plus I've got a Mishra's Bauble, so I can Bauble Trick on turn 1. Seems good. I've got a sad little Mox Amber, but that's alright. Let's have an opponent mulligan. Let's have an opponent mulligan. No mulligan. That's fine. I wanted the stiff competition. I like a competition like I like my beverages. Stiff, hard. Basically any allegory that I can use to describe a penis. Alright. Aether Gust? I don't need a second Aether Gust. Allegory was not the right word there. Metaphor? No. Whatever. It's fine. It's going to be great. Regarding what I was saying yesterday about Ensnaring Bridge price drop, it seems like Karn also had a big decline after Eldraine. I wasn't playing Modern back then. Was Tron a lot more popular? I'm trying to remember what decks came out at that time, because I wasn't playing a lot of Modern then. So I couldn't tell you as easily as I could answer some other questions. Okay, I think we just play the Thopter Foundry out here and just sort of pray for leniency. Eldrazi Tron was the most popular deck by a huge margin for a while. That's been happening a lot in the last couple of years, though. So it's just hard for me to pinpoint that being a specific... Hopefully this is Bloodbraid Elf into something that is not particularly effective. Blood Moon also fine. Yep. Bloodbrain Elf into Bone Crusher. Good God. Hold on to Bridge until it spikes again. Yeah, Bridge will go up again, I'm sure, at some point. Okay, that was a good pickup. So that means I get to play sword and make a token this turn. I could also play Goblin Engineer to make the token because I took the second sword out of my sideboard. Yeah, so this is like slightly more efficient. Yeah, okay, because I have the Mox Amber as a artifact that I can sacrifice. I also guess I could have played and sacrificed Engineer Explosives on one, but I don't know if that's as good. Maybe Mox Opal got banned around that time. Did it? When did Mox Opal get banned? It got banned before Theros. So it's like 2 months. Between 2 and 3 months into the Eldraine season, mid-January. Yeah, that's probably when Mox Opal got banned. No, it wasn't in the fall, because fall is when Eldraine came out. January is after Theros. No, it wasn't. Theros came out in the 3rd week of January, or even the 4th week of January. It was late January. Thank you. Unless January 16th was the, from what I recall. Okay. But basically what you want to do when you're looking up MTGO prices and trying to analyze things like that is you want to look at when ban list announcements, etc. happened. Because those will tell you about what, like the most significant factors that will affect the price. Is this Scavenging Ooze? Stomp. That's fine. I don't care. Okay. Did I put the bridge in my deck? No, it's still in my sideboard. Yikes. Arbor Elf. Yep. Second Blood Bridge. Well, me sideways. Jesus. Okay, I've got 1 land against the world. I got 1 Thopter per turn. But oh no, these decks needed to lose Astrolabe. I'm not salty, you're salty. What's salt? I don't care. It's cool, we're gonna be fine. We're gonna beat them with my sweet grind package. Yeah, that's right. We're gonna beat them with my package. Yeah. So currently, if they attack with Bone Crusher Giant, I can make 2 Thopters, double block, and kill it. This could also get me a Sacred Foundry if I wanted to, which is not going to die to a second boil, but I don't know if I'm supposed to play around a second boil. Doom Switch is still killing it on Bant. That does not surprise me. I mean, Bant is still a good deck. It's not gone anywhere. Holy yikes. Yep. Uh-oh. That's not good. Also Bloodbraid? Oh, also Clothis. That's fine. Oh, Animate Clothis. That's way worse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So hopefully we top deck an untapped land because I already lost my Raugrin Triome, so the only lands left in my deck are, well, mostly untapped ones. Okay, so sack that. Yeah. Sack that. Looks like they're F6. So if I draw land, I can play Engineer Explosives on 1 and pop their Arbor Elf and their Utopia Sprawl. They'll still get to keep their Chandra in play, as obviously as well as their Clothis, but... Okay. I think on their draw step, we're going to Gust their Chandra, which kind of buys me a turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, they're... His quote, does the best deck in Modern, still strong words, but I am pretty confident on this one. Deck is the best deck in Modern still. Strong words, but I'm pretty confident on this one. I really hope not, because I think Bant is very boring. But that wouldn't surprise me. Bant was one of the decks that needed Astrolabe the least. Same probably with Sultai. Sultai actually did use Dead of Winter out of the sideboard. I actually love playing it. No, there's nothing wrong with liking it. I can't deal with it. Like, I want red in my control decks most of the time. Red or black. I don't like white control decks for the most part. I just like Lightning Bolt a lot. Like, when you're playing blue-white versus blue-white, and there's, like, Teferis, it's just like, ugh. Because there's no creatures with haste. It's just, it's such nonsense. I don't mind playing Bant against most other things, but playing Bant in the mirror matches. Trying to get as good as Jiggy. Well, that's certainly a level of qualification that is worth pursuing. Okay, so we are draw stepping, Aether Gusting their Chandra. This is specifically because if they put it on top, they don't have access to it this turn. Additionally, they can't activate loyalty abilities during the draw step. So we get to put the Chandra on top they chose to do. Next turn they could play it again. Although if they don't hit a land here, and I do hit a land here, I can play EE, crack EE, blow up their Arbor Elf, which means they need to... Never mind. So nothing even matters? Please do not tell me they have... Okay, I was like, if they have Bloodbraid Elf in hand, I'm going to lose it. Oh, but they don't have double red. They can't play the Chandra they just picked up. Shit. Oh, that boil will be the end of me. Yeah. So I take 2 from Clothis, and then if I make only 1 Thopter, I take at least 6 if I play the Emry. So the only thing for me to do here is make the 2 Thopters. So, oh, they still the Chandra in hand. Yeah, we're just dead here. I can't quite pull it out on this one. The boil was too brutal in this game. So boil is definitely something to be more concerned about, and then we also have to worry about Blood Moons. So it's oof. The squeeze from Gruul midrange is more brutal than it was before, that's for sure. I don't know if it is interesting, Alex. I mean, it's something that was easily predictable. Like, the Gruul deck got better in that they were already a deck that played Blood Moon and Boil and Pillages and stuff like that. And now that there isn't Arcum's Astrolabe to sort of help smooth out playing 3 color decks that are artifact focused, I mean, I don't think it's any kind of stretch to understand that that was going to be even better. And it was already fine. So. Okay. Rock Nation. Good name. Won the die roll. That's always nice. More information is better than less. I suppose so. Holy yikes. Do I keep this on the back of turn 1 Emry? Yeah, probably. So we're going to fetch, shock, Hallowed Fountain, Mox Amber, Engineer Explosives on 0, play Emry. Hopefully not immediately lose. Need to be more prepared for Shadow and Gruul. Yeah, I guess. But, like, this is a single match, right? This is a very insufficient sample size thus far. And just because we beat... what the hell did we even beat? I know we accidentally Thopter Sword comboed them multiple times. Can you call this a smelting hand? I could. This is a smelting hand. I don't know what you mean by that, but I can do it. I guarantee you I can. Alright, let's do it. Let's flip Mishra's Bauble. Talisman of Creativity. Hey, Mishra's Bauble. Let's not lose. Oh, because of the foundries? Isn't smelting what happens in the foundry? It's one of the things that happens in the foundry. I assume tempering also happens. And other words. I don't know. Let's look it up. Foundry. What does a foundry do? A foundry is a factory that produces metal casings. Metal are cast into shapes by melting them into a liquid, pouring the metal into a mold, and removing the mold material after the metal has solidified as it cools. The most common metals processed are aluminum and cast iron. So there's melting, degassing, mold making, pouring, shakeout, degating, heat treating, surface cleaning, and finishing. Neat. Well, my opponent had turn 1 Fatal Push with a fetch land, which means I get to do nothing. And I drew a red card, which I can't play with my blue and white mana. So, hooray! Turn 1 Emry is more ineffective than ever in Modern, it feels like, because people are playing, by and large, more interaction. I knew I was keeping a risky hand when we stuck with this, so I'm not upset about it. But nice! Welcome, Roy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We went 1-2 against Gruul. We lost to Death Shadow and beat... What the hell did we beat in round 2? I feel like it was another Death Shadow deck, but I don't think it was. Oop. What the hell? Oh, yeah. It's that. Okay, well, I guess I'm playing nothing. Oh no, they're not Assault I control, are they? Aspiring Spike is playing Shark Blade. The hell is Shark Blade? Blue-white Stone Blade with Shark Typhoon? Yeah, okay. I wonder if we should be playing Urza Thopter Sword with Blue-White Stoneblade in the same deck. Huh. That could be something. Well, I'm getting nothing but super slow or crazy fast opponents this morning, so that's fun. At least if they're playing control, I'm going to get to throw a lot of Thopter Foundries at them. That was sort of a thing right at the beginning of Horizons. I believe it. Well, I do remember that when Stoneforge Mystic came out, at the time where that happened, it was a question of like, oh, is Stoneforge Mystic better than Goblin Engineer for an Urza deck? Oh, really? You have a Mana Leak? Go figure. I cannot believe they had the turn 1 Fatal Push. I mean, obviously I can, because they're playing a 60-card control deck. It's just really frustrating. They mulled to 6, and they still had the turn 1 Fatal Push. It's what you get for trying to play an aggressive strategy in Modern sometimes. You just get dumpstered. Oh, great, they passed the turn. Oh, great, I drew more interaction. Super. Come on, Thopter Foundry. I got boiled by goblins yesterday. It hurt my soul. Yeah, that's definitely a thing that's going to happen to you now. Boiled or blood mooned by goblins. All right, opponent. You are a very deliberate player, and I respect that. I don't respect it. That's fair. But we're playing Magic Online, though, Schwen. No, that's not Schwen. That's Larynx Punchworthy. Sorry, you're both on the same colors today. Larynx Punchworthy. You don't respect it, that's fine. Because we don't need to, because they have a chess clock. So they're eating away at their own time right now. Please let the time slip by you, opponent. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. When my hair starts going even more, I need to get myself like the like denim colored jumpsuit so I can do a good Hannibal Lecter cosplay or costume for Halloween. I've gotten my hair cut for Halloween multiple times in my life, so I feel like that'll be the time where I finally get my hair cut short. Just so I can be a convincing Anthony Hopkins playing Hannibal Lecter. What's Halloween? Well, I don't know if your people have that. I don't know if your people are allowed to do that. I don't. You have to tell me. Oh, great. Oh, they spent all that time to do nothing. They spent all that time. It was like 3 minutes of clock to take their turn and then do nothing with it. Please, for the love of God, play an Abrupt Decay or Assassin's no, or at least a Cryptic Command. Thank God. Wait, Fact or Fiction? Oh, weird. All right. This Fact or Fiction is pretty good with your Uro. So if they put all of these in their graveyard, they lose the Mystic Sanctuary along with these things. Whereas if they keep these things, they get multiple copies of. Yeah, that's fine. That was a pretty unwinnable Fact or Fiction anyway. Unwinnable. So now they get to Uro if they want to. Sultai Control playing Fact or Fiction. That seems like something I could be interested in playing competitively. If that's any good, I'm all in for that. Sultai Control with Fact or Fiction. All right. Let's try to store that away in the old brain box. It's the Chris Martin approach to competitive MTG. I thought the Chris Martin approach was always play Griselbrand, even in Modern. My Wilderness Wreck list plays 1. I think you should probably play more than 1. Play an archetype rigorously until it becomes tier 1. Yeah, I guess so. Then take a break. Love it. It's something that I've been struggling with as someone who does streams is like, I wish I could just be like, I'm going to become the Urza streamer. I am a streamer who plays a lot of Urza, but I'm not the Urza. I miss Chris Martin and ANC Weekly. Feels bad, man. I completely agree, man. I do too. And not even the people who just played. Just that environment was... There were just good people there. Just make sure you have fun. Well, I love Urza decks. I really do. I don't love playing them against an opponent who is down on clock by 5 minutes. I would like my opponent to know that I I am not the fastest MTGO player. I'm just not. What the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? Is this the actual real Gabriel Nassif with a Smurf account? I remember my FNM game against Lynn Chalice, easily some of the funniest reactions I've seen to my decks. Were you playing the Roy deck at the time? Because I feel like Schwen responding to the Roy deck would have been priceless. He's like, wait, you just Mystic... no, what's it called? The tutelage? The tutor? The 4-mana instant with the flashback for 5 and black? Teachings. Mystical Teachings. You Mystical Teachings for Consume the Meek, and he's just like, what is even happening? Mystical Teachings. It's Teachings. Because the... I just remember because the Pauper deck was 100-card Teachings. Because the Pauper deck would win by decking your opponent without playing anything to deck them. You just played 40 more cards than them, and you 2-for-1 them until they had no threats left. You didn't play a single card that actually milled your opponent. You just won by having more cards. Mystical Teachings for Force of Despair. Yeah, that's another hilarious one. All right. I am going to take a break to drain some of the hydration from my body, and we'll see if my opponent has made an action by the time I'm back. Oh, and for anyone who's wondering, not only am I wearing my my suit pants, but I'm also wearing dress shoes. Did they make a game action yet? Oh, they did! Oh, it's excitement! The only other time I was more shocked was when my mono-black devotion opponent viled in a Chupacabra to kill my Emrakul in Game 1, then in Game 2 they viled in an Obliterator in response to my anger. Fastest shame concede ever at XO. Another golden quote, why do you still play Knight of Souls Betrayal? That sure is. Wow. I could not put together a worse set of draws, if you ask me to. On the plus side, we're just going to win on time, because this is game 1 and my opponent is down for almost 10 minutes. Oh, they're Mystic Sanctuarying a Factor Fiction. Well, that's going to speed them up. We're the guy who played Illness in the Ranks main deck, and he top-8'd a Face Showdown. Was that Michael Thomas Stilson, whatever? If you had an Astrolabe, you could Gal Blast the Uro. I mean, I could. Roy, help me out. What was his name? He had 3 names. Michael Thomas. It's not that. That's not right. But he's like Samuel L. Jackson. He has 3 names, and you always say all 3 of them. Michael Thomas Fulford. Thank you. Yeah, that is that human. Block. Boop. Michael Thomas Scowl Blue. Is that a specific reference, or... Man, if this doesn't resolve... Hold on. Do I know this isn't resolving? Yeah, they've got a Cryptic Command. I know it's not gonna... We talk a lot about deck building. That does not surprise me. Just generic French. Oh, Sacre Bleu. Yeah, it's an exclamation. Yeah. Yeah, we'll play this on 0 for another artifact to sack and then pass the turn. My favorite opportunity to playtest jank without personally playtesting it. Yeah. Oh! Why did I F6? I did not expect them to have Abrupt Decay in response to my engineered explosives and choose to play it that way for the first time ever. They've actually taken a game action at a reasonable pace. It's fine. We were screwed this game anyway, but... But now all of a sudden they're taking forever again? They took a meaningful game action. They don't have anything left to do. And now they're doing nothing. Okay. I don't get it. They will time out. I mean, eventually. Thanks, Roy. This suit was bought for me, and I was paid to wear it. It was great. Oh, they Mystic Sanctuary looped me on that play? Love the somber tone. I mean, for musicians, you want to wear black just so you don't draw focus, I guess, is the deal. Like, you're like the wallpaper. Okay, so I can get a Raugrin Triome and start Galvanic Blasting them next turn, but, you know. When are you playing the Enter Sadman Bad remix? I could play it in between rounds. I'm not crazy anymore. No, I'm shit posting. What? Don't take me seriously. What? I don't understand what's happening now. My opponent has 7 cards in hand, and I'm just bleeding out their clock. They're behind by 11 minutes. My plugged-in speaker aux just keeps stopping to work until unplug, replug happens every 15 minutes. Anyone has any idea how to fix it? Anyone can help out, Penseur? As a music quote-unquote professional, I'm useless here. I mean, it sounds like a hardware issue with your computer. Because, like, an aux cable is analog, but from the output of your computer, like, you might have an issue where your sound card is having problems for whatever reason. So this is kind of a shitty play because showing them that I play Teferi is a bad idea. But because they have Force and Cryptic in their hand right now, but it's going to take them forever to decide which one to do. So Larynx Punchworthy, the problem with me playing Subnautica today is trying to work it into the stream, but what about if we just played it tomorrow for like 2 to 4 hours? Because I'm probably not going to want to play a lot of Magic tomorrow. Playing spells is now our win con. Exactly. Don't forget their triggers. Their triggers are part of our win con right now. Any trigger they have to deal with is part of our win condition. Alright. So I get to board out my Galvanic Blasts. Get to board an A Teferi. So this deck probably needs more sideboard cards against blue. Yeah. I actually think I probably just have to keep the 2 Galvanic Blasts, which is a shame, but I think that's the best we can do. Suppose I could bring in Aether Gust, but like most of the things that actually matter in their deck are blue. It's a team effort. I guess I could bring in my second Sword of the Meek because I'm slightly more likely to actually get the Sword of the Meek in my graveyard than actually cast a Karn. And in terms of things that are similar to that, I guess I could bring in Tormod's Crypt over the other Galvanic Blast because it might end up with a faster Emry. So we'll do this way. Tormod's Crypt and Soul Guide Lantern also are able to disrupt my opponent's graveyard synergies, so... Thanks for hanging out, by the way, Shuen. You are not a regular here, but I know you peek by when you have time, and this is going to be an extra special stream. Going to be a lot of energy today, so every little bit that I get from anyone who hangs out here means a lot to me. So Larynx Punchworthy, Roy, Pensewer, all of y'all, you're great. Thank you so much for hanging out. Is Shuen also drinking? I really doubt it. Shuen is one of the best legacy players on MTGO, so I assume he's doing responsible, intelligent things with his time. Yeah, Larynx Punchworthy, I'm definitely an extrovert. Without people, I wilt like a flower a little bit. So, God, I love Belcher. Someone give me money to play Belcher. I will boot up a goddamn Legacy League if I have to. How much? At least $10 USD. Because that's how many tickets it costs to enter it if I lose all 5 rounds. And I'm paying for my own alcohol today to entertain y'all, so... Legacy Belcher should be called 8 Guide. Certainly could be. Yikes. Useless and. Hopefully it'll take my opponent 5 minutes to decide their mulligan. This is turn 1 Emry, turn 2 Thopter Foundry again. I'm going to keep this. I'm going to bottom the Karn and pray that this time it works out. They kept their 7, so it seems less likely, but maybe this time it works out, because they probably boarded out some number of the fatal pushes. If they have fatal push on turn 1, we're just going to be annoyed and upset. We flipped Mox Amber and Thopter Foundry. Yikes. I think this deck probably needs Chromatic Star or Chromatic Sphere. Star is better in this deck because if you recycle Star with Emry and then you sack it for Thopter, you get to draw a card. I should start notes. God freaking bless it. I just one break would be nice with this. Would just one break would be nice with this matchup, because they're just bleeding me for so much time, and it's not like I'm trying to make it as entertaining as I can for you folks. But Terrarian, we could play Terrarian. It's been one break since you looked at me. Comes in tapped. Oh yeah. Terrarian is that is a pioneer level card. Okay, sticky notes. Jeskai Urza Karn 1. So more engineer sideboard for blue X. More sword of the Meek. And what was I just talking about? What did we need? Bare naked baby, ladies baby. It's been. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Okay. It's been one break since you looked at me. Yeah. Hold on, I can look up the lyrics for that and do most of that song. No. 1 week lyrics. I could even look up a karaoke version of the tune if you wanted. Is there a karaoke version? Yeah, there is. Does it have the lyrics on screen? Because if so, we're doing this in between We're doing this in between rounds. Yeah, they do. Okay, so we're going to do that. Larynx Punchworthy, you've inspired something terrifying. Okay, second Emry. I wonder if Chromatic Orrery could be a thing in Modern Tron. I doubt it. Did we flip a sword yet? We did not. Yikes. Maybe this Emry survives. There's one section of this song that's brutal. Gonna make it break and take a shake it. Gonna make a break and take a fake. I'd like a stick and naked shake. I'd like vanilla. It's the finest of the flavor. Gotta see the show because then you'll know the vertigo is gonna grow because it's so dangerous. I have to sign a waiver. No, it's not that one. It is this one. Gonna get a set of better clubs. Gonna find the kind with tiny nubs so my irons aren't flying off the backswing. Yep. All right. I think we'll probably be okay. Is it too brutal to play two? Card. Chromatic Orrery. So I know this is from M21. 7 mana legendary artifact. You may spend mana as though it were mana of any color. Tap, add 5 colorless. 5 mana tap, draw a card for each color among permanents you control. I really doubt you could do anything with that, but I mean, you could try. Okay, so we're just going to get a snow-covered plains here. I assume they're enabling Revolt with this. Just to pick off my Emry again. And we somehow have not. Yep. And we didn't mill or draw one of our Sword of the Meeks yet. Which is frustrating. But it's okay. Because we're going to kill my opponent with 1/1 Thopters, even though they can escape their Uro probably next turn. Hey, look, it's another Emry. Maybe we'll be okay this time. Don't forget, you can pay 8 to play it with a Thran Temporal Gateway. Well, thanks, Brian. Brian M., the fabulous manufacturer of one of today's later on decks. It's a Grixis Urian Pile, and it's going to be an absolute treat to play a creation of Brian M. First, of course, famous on the Mana Symbol channel. It's the 7 that gets me thinking. Oh, yeah. The fact that you can hit your 3rd Tron land and then drop it, and then have 5 mana after. Good lord. Okay. Well, it's a good thing I can EE on 3 to kill this, and my Emry. Boy, howdy. Well, we're going to grab my Soul Guide Lantern and pick off their Uro. So at least that should be something. Takes me back to the Red Room. Yep. As soon as they played it, I was like, I bet Roy's going to mention the fact that my Thopter Sword combo doesn't work now. Come on. Come on! I'm going to still lose this match, which is super frustrating, but the fact that it's going to take almost all of their clock is just the worst. This right here, this is a perfect example of a game that... This is the reason you shouldn't generally feel bad about winning for clock. Because people like this exist. And they're going to win the game! It's not even going to be close! But good God did they waste so much of our time. Plague Engineer wins people games, but it wins me pitchers. Yes. Oh, great! 3rd piece of removal for my 3rd Emry. What's up, Blitz MTG? We are just having a time here. Against Sultai, Snow Control without Astrolabe. They're just... What in the... Why would you bother? You know the sad part? That was 100% correct, and it actually mattered. That's so frustrating. They made the technically correct play. They have taken a million years on every one of their game actions. and their technically correct play completely mattered. Get your Uro. Oh, Jace! Oh, okay. Well, I guess, yeah. Fate Seal me? Sure. Leaves the card on top? Okay, it's probably a land. Which means it's probably a blue land. Which means I probably get to play this Urza. So that ain't not bad. Nice Fate Seal, bro. Brozette. Brobot. Bro they. Nice. Oh, now they're playing fast. Oh, now they're like, does Twitch's TOS prohibit drinking games? Yes. Because as far as I understand, basically anything that could be used to abuse alcohol for money. That is why I'm completely dissociated today in any way from being inspired by other people doing anything. You can do on your end, anyone here can do anything they want with themselves and their bodies. I'm going to be here on my end. The only thing that I'm doing here today is spending my time and patience playing Magic the Gathering. Okay, so we could end of turn engineered explosives down this Plague Engineer. But since I still don't have a Sword of the Meek in my graveyard, it's not really particularly relevant. I feel like that wasn't the case. What do you mean? Back in the days. Well, yeah. I mean, the old days of Twitch were the Wild West. I mean, you could do anything you wanted for anything, and there was basically no oversight to stop you. So, you are correct in a way. Okay. Tumult Crypt. I've definitely seen streamers get drunk for money years ago. Yeah, that's definitely a thing you could do years ago. And then I guarantee you what happened is that someone hurt themselves, and that wasn't something you could do anymore. So we're going to pop this EE now on 3 to get rid of the Plague Engineer, and then try to attack down this Jace as best as we can. I consider myself lucky to be part of positive streams like this. Apparently, Twitch is full of heinous behavior. Well, we like to do what we can here. The only thing I've drunk so far on stream today is a wonderful smoothie full of electrolytes and other things that are good for you. I worked out this morning. I'm clearly a fitness guy. I would never do anything that would be detrimental to my health. Okay, so Uro is going to come back this turn. We might have an opening. Well, they have multiple draws and stuff, but... Is it? Okay. Sort of the Meek. Is your liver truly your health, though? Well, you have to remember, like with your body, like if you want to work out, right, and build muscle strength, you're gonna be sore. Jesus Christ. You're going to be sore. Soreness is pain, right? And pain is normally something people see as not good for you. But on the flip side of that, you know, when you drink alcohol, if one was drinking alcohol, which I have not confirmed or denied that I'm doing yet today, in theory, maybe you create micro tears on your liver, which make your liver stronger. So really, if you drink, you know, in moderation, repeatedly, you're going to be stronger and healthier for the future. Oh yeah. What do you want to put on top? Abrupt Decay? Destroy my Thopter Foundry? Mana Leak. That's a bold choice. Oh my god. Second Plague Engineer. Okay. I guess it makes sense because it also helps them beat goblins. It's cool. We weren't going to get there anyway. Excellent. All right. I will be back in 2 seconds, and then we will get into match number 5. Stick around, folks. All right, let's cue it up. My favorite poison. So I will be drinking later on a beautiful Innis and Gun in the red can. So that's Innis and Gun Premium Lager. But we're moving on to some delicious and era-appropriate Corona Extra. I mean, I'm going to be drinking this tall glass of ginger ale. Tall glass of ginger ale. What's the score right now out of 5? We are 1-3, Lost Eden. 1-3. But our hydration count is moving up to 5. So let's get that appropriate. Yeah, I mean, we've had some bad luck. We've run into some unfavorable matchups. And we've reached some conclusions about bits and pieces of this build. So it is obviously not great, but not as bad as it sounds. All right. If I want to play turn 2 Emry, I have to play turn 1 Soul Guide Lantern. Alternatively, I could play Raugrin Triome, turn 2 Foundry, turn 3 Soul Guide Lantern, and Emry. I think I'm going to elect to do that because we're in the dark here. And on the play, we probably have more time, but we'll see what we're up against. I have no idea what the current meta is like. We're playing unrefined brews all day long, so. Noble Hierarch, okay. Thopter Foundry, good. Unrefined brews, yes, that is one way you could type it. Bant, oh god. Oh my god! Okay. Oh, well, never mind then, I guess. What I was going to do is Soul Guide Lantern my own Thopter Foundry so that Karn could wish for it. But I don't have to do that now, so let's not. Emry mill a Sword of the Meek, and then my opponent's going to play Scavenging Ooze and eat it. Well, I got half of that right. Let's see if my opponent mills a Scavenging Ooze and eats my Sword of the Meek. So plays a Scavenging Ooze and eats my Sword of the Meek. Karn could wish for it back, so. I like Karn in Thopter Sword decks, but... Oh no, their mana's all open. Okay, so they're playing like Bant... Value tempo. They don't use their yard. Isn't eating the factory still good? Yes, but I have no idea what my opponent's playing, so I don't know what to do with that. Please play a spell. Please play a bad mid-range spell. Soul Herder. That's a yikes. It's a big, big, frustrating, horrifying, upsetting yikes. Please just make a 4/3? Don't kill my Soul Guide Lantern. I kind of need... Good God, of course they do. Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they kill my card that basically does nothing against them? They could just have a 4/3, but no. They had to exterminate every last artifact that I had in play. We're still fine here. It's just going to be a pain in the ass to have Thopter Foundry against this. Couldn't you draw? No, it costs 1 mana. Exiling their yard is free. Drawing a card costs mana. Soul Guide Lantern is very balanced. It's a good card. It is appropriately costed. With Relic of Progenitus? Oh, with the activations on the Soul Guide Lantern. That's fair. Okay, standard legal cards still tripping me up, yeah. Let's go ahead and shock Hallowed Fountain. Play Thopter Foundry, play Talisman of Creativity, and then we sack to make a Thopter. Yeah. Play the Talisman. So they're going to be able to kill my Thopter Foundry every turn, but I'm going to get to be able to play a new one every turn. So what I really need to focus on right now is just developing my mana. Hoping they don't play Collector Oof in their main deck with Chord of Calling, which they probably do. Coiling Oracle, that's fine. It's more value, but I'm really worried about something like Collector Oof. We can still peel a... You didn't. Oh, it's a 2-3. Never mind. Taking the damage. Okay. We're going to leave the Thopter Foundry in play for now, because what should happen is their end step, they're going to slide the Knight of Autumn to attack my Thopter Foundry, and we're just going to sack the Thopter Foundry in response. Whatever they decide to, that's fine. Whatever they decide to go after here, we're going to sack that in response. Now, if I Karn next turn, I should have 6 mana available. Most of my artifacts are not particularly good, but if I get Engineered Explosives, it could be worth doing. Yes. Where is it? Come on. Yield. Come on. What? Oh, all right. Okay, so remember how I had a plan? Plan is now defunct. This Soul Herder Knight of Autumn thing is going to be a huge pain in the ass. That said, I can Karn and grab Engineered Explosives from my sideboard. Karn will then die, but I'll get to kill the Soul Herder and the Knight of Autumn. They're going to be up an awful lot of cards, so I think I'm just going to die, but we can try. If I put Ensnaring Bridge into play, it bricks them for a turn, they kill the bridge, and the next turn I Karn for EE and blow up all their relevant cards. So I think we're going to do that. Because this way I kind of get to keep Karn. Yeah. Depending on the line they choose. We just got punched in the mouth. Yeah, I guess. It's like Walking Ballista for 1 and kill the Knight of Autumn. And chump block the Soul Herder. Yeah, that's even better. It's even better. But I should have exiled one of the Thopter Foundries earlier, because now I don't have a Thopter Foundry in exile, so... Sure, why wouldn't they have more things that deal with all of my relevant things? It's going to exile my Karn, right? One assumes. I guess they can reset Knight of Autumn or Deputy later on, so... My Thopter? Okay. Interesting choice. Okay. Go to block. Dude. So the Knight's gone. They can flicker the Deputy every turn. I can get Ensnaring Bridge here. Then they can flicker. Well, they're going to take my Karn with this, I guess. My sword. Okay. All right. I can just E on 3. Takes down the Soul Herder and the Deputy. Huh, okay. I don't need to do anything special with this. Whee! Oh no. No. Stop. What are you doing? You're not playing Spell Queller. No. Okay. They have main deck Knight of Autumns, Deputy Detentions, and Force of Negations. Good lord, that is tough to deal with. Well, maybe this extra 1 Galvanic Blast on top of the 0 that we drew last game will be helpful. Yeah, it was pretty brutal. I think the rest of my deck is fine because my sideboard is very limited. Luckily, we've run into 0 E-Tron because I put 2 copies of Ceremonious Rejection on our sideboard, and I assumed we would be running into non-stop E-Tron because it was popular before Astrolabe got banned, and I can only imagine it's gotten better. Orbs of Warding. Orbs of Warding is the same thing, except it doesn't have the ETB trigger, and it prevents 1 damage from each instance of damage you receive. What is up, Jiggy Wiggy? One of my favorite people. You can see our wonderful hydration count. What is all this non-thick nonsense? What are you talking about? What is not thick? I'm thick as shit. I was just lifting weights this morning. What kind of work out did you do this morning? So I went for a jog, and I have a 25-pound weight with sort of sliding bits that you can remove. So I did some biceps, triceps, shoulders, lats, and I did what is it called? There's sort of front raises, which are for your the anterior deltoids, as well as there's a pull over, and the pull over is for your like chest size. I forget exactly how the Arnold book describes it. Okay, so we mulled that first one because it was bad. Second hand, also bad. I'm going to keep this and bottom a Thopter Foundry and pray. I played 2 heads-up queues with Engineer, Cromstar, Kinnan, Urian, Urza. Felt pretty fine. Hit me with your list, because I could potentially play that later. I think the deck still has legs. I think all of these decks still have legs. The question is just to what extent. Opponent with no turn 1 acceleration. That feels good until it feels awful. Because we know that they're playing Force of Negation. Well, at least my consistent failures of always flooding here are slightly less consistent this game. Okay. Oh, you're on 1 Song of Creation with this? Interesting. Jiggy, it was really funny. There was a post in MTG Modern on Reddit where people were talking about, like, okay, what do we do now that Astrolabe is banned for these kind of decks? And there was someone who posted a list that was very similar to what you just posted there. And basically, there was someone who was like, oh my god, that's just like the stock Teamer, Kinnan, Erosa deck. That's not yours. And I looked at the list and I was like, I mean, this is the Kinnan, Erosa archetype, but like, this has some weird choices. It had 1 Ren and 6 in an 80-card deck. I was like, that's hot nonsense. But like, but it was one of the things where I felt compelled to put a comment on there where I said, like, hey, dude, like, this is just an archetype. Like, don't be so aggressive to this person who's clearly, like, trying to do cool stuff. Like, don't worry about it, man. It's great. People are playing the deck. That's their version. I've never played 1 copy of Ren and 6. Are you kidding me? That's nonsense. I saw that too, felt it was negative, and then I saw your comment afterwards. Good on you. Oh, well, thanks for being present in that discussion, Lost Eden. I just think that the internet is so often, and this is not I think, the internet is so often a place where people use their anonymity to be way more aggressive and you know, I don't know, everything else than they would otherwise be. And it's, I don't know, every now and then there's just a moment where you go like, this is not okay. Like, I can do something about this right now. I'm going to try. They have 2 mana open. Hopefully they don't have something like Mystic Dispute or whatever. Ceremonious goddamn Rejection. Sure. You know, I have that in my sideboard, but, you know, it doesn't get to be relevant. We didn't flood. Kind of. That's because, Pensur, I am a super genius. Please ephemerate. Yes. Get the fuck out of here. That's the last card of my hand, but it's a good one. Spread the word about the Urza Discord too. I should have done that. I should have done that. I did not. Holy crap. Well, I'm glad that alert works. That means we're going to be playing some Charbelcher today. Oh, crap. So we're going to be playing some Goblin Charbelcher today at some point. The activity in the Discord has dwindled, but it needs a revival. I do think that part of the problem with the activity in the Discord, Brian, is that there are too many like sub archetypes. There's like 8 channels for different Urza builds, and then there's like 20 channels for different like matchups, and it just feels a little bit overwhelming, and I think it ends up diluting the conversation a little bit. Which, like, I appreciate the dedication to, it was useful when Urza was Flavor of the Month. I guess so. Yeah, maybe. It needs a reorganization. Yeah, I think so. There's also approximately 1 streamer, which, not that I have a problem with, but it's funny. OP is playing with themselves over there. No, they're at least... You didn't see the previous match, Jiggy, where my opponent was like on Sultai. We were flooding. No kidding. So I think this deck needs a lower land count. It certainly doesn't need the Mystic Sanctuary. We haven't used it once. Jeez. Am I just done with this league? I think I'm done with it. No, it's not about the new Discord, Roy. This is about the Urza Discord. I think I'm just done with this league. Like, just not. I'm not getting through this. And even if I drew the Sword of the Meek, I think they would probably have Force of Negation there. So, what did we learn about this build? There's probably a lot of tweaks to make with it. This is a really hard archetype, especially in 60 cards. That we... I think it needs to be more combo focused. Almost all the games we won were specifically from comboing. And like I built it as like a combo-ish deck, but we're playing these Karn the Great Creators, which I wanted to sort of get grindy with, and I think the Karns probably should just go out for like more Goblin Engineers. We can get rid of this Karn Wish board and just become like a Jeskai Urza combo deck. Alex, do you have a specific slot in which you would like the Legacy Breach deck to go? You can go here in slot 5 if you like, because this is... I'll just bump Temur Wur Prison to 1 later, and we'll do Legacy Belcher in slot 5. And then we'll do Temur Wur Prison in slot 6. So Legacy Belcher will be a nice break at that point. I hope that works for you. Later tonight. Yeah. Well, this will be in like many hours. When you're baked. Sure. Can you get me a list sometime soon? Well, sometime within the next 5 hours. 5 to 6 p.m. Yep, I can make that happen. We will start that league between 5 and 6 p.m. approximately. Okay, that said, we're going to be moving on to Grixis Urza Breach. This is an Underworld Breach deck that is also playing Thopter Sword combo. This is mostly a version that was extant before I played it on this channel. I think I 4-1'd with it at the time, and I know I beat the Tar out of the Asian Avenger and managed to make it into an MTG Goldfish video with that. So stick around, folks. I'm going to be switching the Stream Decker over. We're going to be switching our cards over, and we're going to be listening to a tad of music. Larynx Punchworthy, please confirm that you are here because I'm going to muddle my way through 1 week before we start the next league. And I would like to know that you are here for that.